Hey, due to the wildly popular video I made earlier of dosas, there was an international demand that asked, can you show me more how to make these things? I've got it for you. Here we go. So, dosas, the Indian crepe tortilla, largely not understood, mythical, like the unicorn. Let's start. What it starts with lentils, right? This is mung bean. Maybe it matters. There's 1,000 of these things, but these are white, so they make a batter look good. So we'll start with those. All right. As you can tell, I'm accurately dosing this stuff. This is not enough, right? That's about a half a cup. So let's go with some more. I've got these. These are mung bean. Are they? No, these are urad. This is supposedly what you're supposed to use. And they take the skin off this. This is kind of black. You take the skin off. I don't know. Let's see. But I'm going to go ahead and make maybe about a cup of this total. All right. So maybe the batter is going to look weird. Who knows? But we'll start with this. Let's see. We're going to have to soak that in a second. But first, let's go to the second ingredient. And the dominant ingredient. Rice. Now, how do I know this rice is right? It's in a lot of recipes online, but it's also from India, so it has to be close, right? So I'm going to put about, okay, first of all, it's best if you put it in the cup versus all over the counter like I just did. So let's try this again. I'm going to do about 4 cups. 4 to 1, 3 to 1 is kind of the ratio people have talked about. Rice is kind of what gives it a little bit of a crisp. So this is about it. 4 cups if you're imperial system. For the rest of the people of the world, every other country, about 1 liter. And we will add that as well. Okay, that's the simple part. Now let's fill it with water. So water, I use water from the refrigerator. Why? Because this goes through a filter, an activated charcoal filter that removes chlorine. In the US, we have chlorine in the water. It removes chlorine, it removes VOCs and other long chain hydrocarbons that you probably don't want in your food. And this stage is where the rice is going to absorb liquid, right? It's going to rehydrate, and the water that I'm putting in now is going to soak in. So if you put chlorinated water in, the chlorinated water is going to soak into your bean. It'll be part of it. So just start with a cleaner source of water is probably better. I'm not putting a certain amount in. I'm just filling it up because in the end, I'm going to dump all of this water. You'll see later. So there it is. Rice and water. Kind of mix it up a little bit to make sure it gets good surface connection. And that's it. That's it for this one anyway. We're going to let that soak for several hours. Do the same thing with the lentils. Now lentils will absorb a lot more water than the rice, and it'll actually grow a lot more, like swell up, basically expand volume. So I'll fill this up pretty heftily. That's quite a bit. Let's stop there and see what happens for later. So again, much like the rice, it's all soaked in. This will take a few hours. So, if you mark the time now, when we come back, it'll take a few hours. This will absorb water. This will absorb water. Notice they're both raw. So we start with raw ingredients, and then we'll go from there. I know what you're thinking. What's happened here? Has this really rehydrated? Now, for you, it's been a split second. But for me, this has been like 4 or 5 hours, like 2 John Wick movies, minimum. So, when we left, this thing was starting to rehydrate. Let's take a look. So, it did very well. We'll fix this in a second. Here's the rice. All right, nice and soft. Let's rinse these things off. So now that it's rehydrated, not a lot more water is going to go in, so I'm going to use this tap water. As you can see, all of this haze that's like, soils and stuff that come with a natural bean, so that's all just going to get kind of rinsed off until this water's clear, and then we can put it in the blender. Okay, that's looking pretty clear. So all of the dust and things that come with the lentils have basically been cleared off. So this is ready to put in the blender. I'll do the same thing with the rice. Et voila, the rice is also clean. Okay, this is looking good now. The rice is very, well, it's a little grainy still, but it has water in it. And then here are the lentils. The white ones are soft. These black ones are a little crunchy still, but we're gonna run them in the blender. Let's let this go for a while and turn it smooth. All right, that's looking pretty smooth. Let's pour this out and get to the rice. There it is. It's a nice consistency. It's relatively thick. Not too thick, not too thin. Let's get this out and go to the rice. Okay, let's mince some rice. Looks like that needs a little bit more water. And that has turned into quite the smooth mixture of rice that we blend them together. This is the rice, so this is the rice blend and the lentil blend going into the same bowl. All right, let's add it's kind of a pinch of salt. They say this helps with the next process. And then we'll blend this, basically blend the two components together to become homogeneous. Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, this is where the magic happens. So you see this batter, right? We just blended it together. This is kind of a cool thing. These beans have been dry, and the rice, the lentils, dry for months, right? Shipping, handling, whatever. These things are going to go into a kind of a warm space, and there's natural yeast in it, yeasts. Overnight, they're going to come to life, and they're going to naturally ferment this. If you've ever seen those videos where you have a desert that's been completely barren for years, you get a rainstorm and flowers come up, same thing, it's dormant yeast. That's the magic that's going to happen tonight. So the next time you see me, we'll take a look at this thing, and what you'll see is, well, I'm not going to ruin this surprise. Wait till tomorrow, you'll see. So if everything worked right overnight while I was sleeping, the yeast in here was starting to kind of wake back up, start reacting and fermenting. If it's true that when I pull this out of this oven, it's just been sitting there, no temperature, just sitting kind of statically in there overnight. We'll see if it doubles in height, that means it's been fermenting and kind of releasing gases, and it puffs up a little bit. So let's check. Okay, the big reveal. Oh yeah, if you can see that. But this has risen quite a bit to this top since last night. So magic worked. Look at that. All those air bubbles, that's yeast. Same thing that happens when you add yeast to bread. This happened very naturally. Okay, we're back to the beginning. Hot pan, Dosa batter. Let's pan is plenty hot. Start with some batter, a little butter, onions, This will be more of a breakfast dosa. Some peppers. Let those start cooking. The good news is when you cook, the dosa doesn't get any darker because the cool on the top is kind of keeping it cooler so it doesn't burn. It's kind of so it can cook and not overcook at the same time. That makes intuitive sense. Not really. Egg. It's cool. You can actually use the dosa as the basis for like where you can scramble. You don't have to dirty a bowl or anything, which makes it kind of great for street food. You can minimize what the resources you have to use. So there we have a scrambled egg, some pepper, some salt. That's it. Let it cook. So while the dosa is cooking underneath, egg scrambling on top. It's pretty cool. So the cook is pretty much done. Put a little cheese on top of it. All right. Take this thing, bring it over to the plate, fold it over. One crispy breakfast dosa.